Are you ready?
That's the hammer, and the hammer says, "Are you ready?" Alright, I'm going to do something a little different today. I've had several requests to do catch and cleans, but with the coronavirus, we're on lockdown. I don't even know what day it is. I think today's Tuesday, maybe. So I did a thaw, and we're going to do a clean and cook. But, and it must be Tuesday because it's St. Patrick's Day, and there's our Lucky Charm Nolan down there just doing what he does. Alright, what I have is I have 2 largemouth bass and 9 crappie. They're a little bit freezer burned, so I have cleaned them up. So I clean them, froze them, and then I clean them again and get anything that's bad off. Alright.
Let it talk.
No, Dad's talking. Right down in there, we have about 2/3 of the fish. That's probably crappie, and then this is probably a chunk of a largemouth bass. I kind of cut them up like that. I soak them in milk for a couple hours just because if they're freezer burned and you get that fishy smell in there, the milk sucks it out of it. The other third I have in here, and this is almost looks like chicken, but it's some crappie and bass. That's why I say it looks like chicken. And it has been soaked in Frank's original hot sauce. So well, this one's gonna get a batter. This one's just gonna have the hot sauce, and the hot sauce actually acts as the ingredient that makes the batter stick to it. And for batter, we're gonna go 2 different ways today. My wife loves Target. I don't, but she does. So she brought that home from Target. Panko breadcrumbs. But I like Andy's. I like the Cajun, I like the yellow, I like the red, I like it all. So I'm going to have some Frank sauce with panko on it, some Frank sauce with Andy's on it. I'll have some of the other type, just, you know, soak it in milk, dry it off, and put it in Andy's, and some of it in the panko. So I have the Fry Daddy ready to go. All the fish is going to go in there, and so will my hush puppies. I usually use one of 2 mixes. The McCormick one's good. Sometimes I can find a second one that's pretty good. So and over here we have the air fryer. The air fryer is going to get a plate of tater tots, which in the air fryer are amazing. And they're going to get a nice round of onion rings. So the onion rings also are very good in there, and my wife loves onion rings, so we're gonna have a delicious meal of hush puppies, bluegill, and crappie, and largemouth bass. I don't know if there's any bluegill. It might be all crappie and bass. And then we'll have a second course of hash browns and tater tots. So Nolan sure thought that was funny. Yeah.
Let it talk.
Francis wants to talk too.
Yeah.
So, alright, I've got my hands full here, and it's 5 o'clock, so it's about time to start whipping this stuff up. You want to help Dad cook?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Alright. We'll be back when we got fish cooking. Alright. I'm going to get going on my hush puppy mix. And this is really tricky stuff. You take 1 bag of the hush puppy mix and you put it in a bowl. Then you take 2/3 cups of water and you mix it in. Then you take a fork and you stir it up. When you get it all mixed up good, you literally take 2 spoons and roll it into balls and drop it into the Fry Daddy. And they sink, and you got to make sure they don't stick to the bottom of the fryer. And then they float when they're done, and you got to make sure they spin and cook evenly. Some people like them golden brown, some people like them a little more dark brown. I'm a golden brown kind of guy. But literally, that's it. That turns into that. And they are golden crispies, and they are delicious. Hey, moving on here. I got the old Presto Fry Daddy plugged in. It's simple like me. Nothing to adjust. You plug it in, it has a set temperature, and then you can see it's starting to get ready to go. So I am getting close to dropping some of the Hush Puppy mix in. I also have the old air fryer loaded with some high quality tater tots. I've slammed it in. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to see what the time says, and I'm going to go for about 12 minutes. I also got the oven on, and I'm going to crank that sucker way down. Oh, air fryer's revving up. I'm going to crank this down to about 175. And all I'm going to do is take a pan, and I am going to take the pan, then I'm going to take fish that's done, and onion rings that are done, and tater tots that are done, and Hush Puppies that are done, and keep them warm. Since I've got kind of a process going on here, it's going to keep everything cooking at the same time. Alright, we have our very first of the Hush Puppies coming out of the grease. Looking and smelling great. Maybe a little bit more golden brown than I like, but I'm sure they'll still be delicious. And there's where I use my 2-spoon method to make round balls and plop them in. So my next batch is going in. Okay. Well, I have got about 2/3 of my Hush Puppies done. I have just a minute or two left on the tater tots in the air fryer. This is the fish and the Frank's hot sauce with the panko bread crumbs, and this is fish in the Andes seasoning and the Frank's hot sauce. So I have a little bit of everything going on here, and the last of my Hush Puppies are coming out, looking delicious. I tried one. They are delicious. And yeah, I'm about ready to dump some tater tots in here, and I'm about to drop some fish in there. Alright, I have some results. So first of all, this fish over here is Frank's hot sauce with the panko breading. And this is Frank's hot sauce with Andy's Cajun. And I gotta say, I've had a first few bites. They're both really good and very different, but I like the way the meat seals the breading in. The breading seals the meat in with this one, but I like the flakiness of that one. So you got a little bit of both going. It's going to be quite the taste test. As you come to the end of your frying, the seems the oil gets hotter, the fish cooks faster, so this stuff is a little bit too overdone. But panko overdone, Andy's Cajun. Alright folks, wrapping up the thaw, clean and cook, and mixed results. Really not sure what to do with my Fry Daddy here. It seemed to get way too hot, way too fast. That grease went from golden brown to dark brown very quickly. So what we have here, onion rings from the air fryer, crispy and delicious. Tater tots from the air fryer, crispy and delicious. Had to snap them a little bit. Then my hush puppies, and this was the fish, bass, and crappie with Frank's hot sauce and the panko. This was the bass and crappie without Frank's hot sauce and the panko. The panko didn't stick at all. Then you can see two different things here. This is Frank's hot sauce and the Andy's Cajun, and this was Frank's hot sauce with, I gotta say that again, this is all the bass and crappie with Andy's Cajun. This was just Frank's hot sauce. This was just milk. This is the bass and crappie with milk and panko. This is the Frank's hot sauce and panko. So you definitely get very different results. This was a batch I just left in a little too long. So overall, a feast for a king. You can see inside this a little bit, where you can see a little bit of that hot sauce inside there on the fish. Delicious, and it does have a little bit of kick, but it's Frank's hot sauce and Cajun. Okay, this is it for tonight. Caught it, froze it, thawed it, cleaned it, cooked it. Sangaman, out.